Now let's dive in to our breaking story of the day and discuss everything related to the Grayscale ETF. Why is Grayscale such a big deal? Because they have the GBTC product, which is their Bitcoin trust, which currently holds over 620,000 BTC, making them the largest hodler of Bitcoin in the world. If they get this green light from the SEC to convert their product into a spot Bitcoin ETF, they're already holding on to the underlying asset. BlackRock is playing catch up. They announced, BlackRock officially, that they just started seeding their BlackRock ETF in October. Grayscale has the first mover's advantage. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So let's break this down. Here we go. Grayscale CEO by the name of Michael Sonnenschein. He says, we're ready for the main event. We have been awaiting the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. Now, he also says it's not a matter of when. I mean, it's a matter of when, not a matter of if anymore. I agree with that 100%. I want to read you this. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is on its way to become a bona fide spot Bitcoin ETF. But in case you have not realized it, GBTC is already a massive product. Here's two stats, fam. GBTC has about $25 billion of assets under management. That's half the size of gold's ETF. Let that sink in. And number two, GBTC controls about 620,000 Bitcoins. That's more than half of what Satoshi is believed to control. They say Satoshi's wallets hold roughly 1.1 million Bitcoin, while GBTC has half that amount of Bitcoin, making them the largest Bitcoin hodler in the world next to Satoshi. So when they get this thing converted into an ETF, they will already be operating at scale with the first mover's advantage. Let's take a look at this chart to see the scale here we're talking about. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is about to become an ETF, but it's already massive. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has something like 25 billion in assets under management. So check this out. Controlled by Satoshi, you see all those orange squares, then controlled by GBTC, so you can see a comparison to Satoshi's wallet. And then you can see MicroStrategy, which currently controls over 158,400 BTC. So naturally, Satoshi is the largest, then we have GBTC, and then we have MicroStrategy. And this baby is just getting started, just saying. So yeah, let's break this baby down. Here we go. Let's discuss Grayscale and the likelihood of the spot ETF approval. Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenschein shared Monday morning. He says it's been a 10-year dress rehearsal, meaning they've been awaiting a spot Bitcoin ETF for the past frickin' decade, and says they're ready for this main event. Let's get ready to rumble. Just saying, I had to do that. Ahead of seemingly imminent approval for the conversion of its flagship fund into the spot ETF, as Michael Sonnenschein shares here. Now, on June 29th of 2022, Grayscale filed a lawsuit against the SEC, and thank God they did, for denying its spot Bitcoin ETF conversion. And ever since, Grayscale won its lawsuit against the SEC, with the regulator then deciding not to appeal the court decision after, because they know it's a big fat L and they don't stand the chance in the appeal. Otherwise, they would have appealed it. So that was an omen right there that the ETF's getting approved. 10 days later, the U.S. Court of Appeals issued a mandate that the SEC must re-review the Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF app. An approval of a spot ETF by the SEC appears almost certain, with Grayscale's chief legal officer recently saying the spot Bitcoin ETF approval is a matter of when and not a matter of if anymore. We also have JP Morgan, who commented back in September saying that the SEC will likely be forced to approve the spot Bitcoin ETFs following Grayscale's victory in court. And I agree. I don't think they willfully want it. They prefer to control the markets through futures, but the people want it, the people demand it, and they're supposed to be protecting the best interests of the people. So the people, we rise, we get what we want. We just got to demand it from the damn SEC, right? Now, last week it was highlighted by Bloomberg ETF analyst James Safart that a brief window of opportunity, as I discussed earlier, they have until the 17th to approve all 12 spot Bitcoin ETF filings, including the Grayscale GBTC conversion. This window opened up last Thursday and remains open until Friday, with this being the last chance of approval for a spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States in 2023. So there's still hope. Will it be approved? You guys let me know. And while it's possible the batch of spot ETFs get approved this week, it is seemingly unlikely. If we are indeed going to see Bitcoin ETF approval this wave, I think it is more likely to happen closer to January than this current window, according to the ETF expert, James Safehart, as he shares here on X. New research note from me today. We still believe 90% chance by January 10th. So that's the date to mark on your calendar, fam, for the Spot Bitcoin ETF approvals. But if it comes earlier, we're entering a window where we could waive order of approvals for the current applications could occur. So there is a chance, but probably not going to happen this week. But again, there's still hope. Bitcoin's now up 122% year to date at this time. Not too shabby. And that's thanks to the speculation of the first Spot Bitcoin ETF being approved in the United States, in addition to the upcoming halving for 2024. So send it and let's freaking go. Couple more tweets I wanted to share. I thought this was pretty cool. It's been 10-year dress rehearsal. We're ready for this main event, referring to the approval of the Spot ETF. Now, another analyst, Scott Johnson, shared the following. Looks like we've got some confirmation of number one, without a hard timeline, so almost certainly decided alongside on the other apps, the most likely outcome. As he shared here on the back of his recent tweet, my guess is Grayscale is in one of two positions. Number one, they've received assurances that they'll receive a new order within X amount of days or alongside the other apps. Or number two, they have not received assurances and have demanded a new order by the date or will pursue judicial remedy. So there you freaking have it. And as Nate Gerasi shares here, surprised how quiet it is. GBTC conversion to the ETF. Grayscale won the court case on August 29th, filed the the S3 registration statement October 19th, and the court issued the formal mandate on the ruling October 23rd, but apparently still no word from the SEC on whether Grayscale needs to refile a 19B4. So there you have it, my crypto fam. When do you feel Grayscale will finally get the green light from the SEC and the chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler, Mr. No Claire Gare himself? Do you think it can potentially be this week? Are your fingers crossed? Are you hopeful? Or are you looking forward to the approval by January 10th? Do let me know. But either way, worst case scenario, less than 60 days away from ETF approval. And they say probably within 30 days from the time we get the green light, the product will officially launch. I hope GBTC does get that green light because, like I said, they're already sitting on the underlying asset. So they have the first mover's advantage against Fidelity, BlackRock, ARK21 shares, and all the rest of them. We also have the Winklevoss twins, believe it or not. They were the very first to submit a Spot Bitcoin ETF approval to the SEC over a decade ago. That's right. They're the owners of the Gemini exchange. Crazy, right?